Intel stock, is it really worth it? Intel INTC is one of the largest and most established chipmakers in the world. But it has been facing some serious challenges in recent years. Its stock price has been declining since April 2021, when it reached its all-time high of $63.12. Some of the reasons for this drop are the increasing competition from other chipmakers such as AMD, Nvidia and Apple, the delays and difficulties in its transition to the 7nm and 10nm chip manufacturing processes, and the rising costs and supply chain disruptions caused by the global semiconductor shortage. However, Intel is also trying to improve its situation by investing in its own chip fabrication plants and expanding its foundry services to other customers, launching new products and platforms such as Alder Lake, Sapphire Rapids and Arc, and acquiring or partnering with other companies such as Mobileye, C5 and GlobalFoundries. These moves could help Intel increase its revenue and margins, boost its performance and competitiveness, and enhance its capabilities and diversify its portfolio in the areas of autonomous driving, artificial intelligence and advanced chip manufacturing. So is even worth it buying and holding onto stock, or is it better avoiding buying altogether? How heavy are your bags? Their financial performance is worse, it appears in GAAP statements. They switched from 5-year to 8-year depreciation schedules for major semi-equipment this year. The idea is that their foundry services will increase useful life of the equipment. Of course, the foundry services haven't done much yet. In the meantime, it's decreased depreciation expense by $1 billion per quarter this year. Using last year's depreciation schedule, they've lost about $4.5 billion from operations so far this year. Will it outperform SPY or QQQ? Doubtful. I'm good. Is the first part ChatGPT and the final sentence your own? I'm just curious if I can spot the writing style. I hope your position recovers. They're trying to tap into the foundry business. They are a manufacturing powerhouse. I've worked in their factories as well as other semiconductor factories, and theirs is top-notch. Do the opposite of what others say here. Intel Adobe I hopefully $. Intel was the one chip manufacturer for 30 years. It's okay that they are number 2 and 3 for a few years. They will survive. They will thrive again. Competition is good. They are all creating new avenues for all of them to expand to. Sure, Intel wasn't the first to AI. But where there is a new segment, there is a new frontier to expand and gain revenue. I will still buy Intel-based devices. You missed the $26.28 price point. I didn't. In the green now. The weekly INTC thread where people lie to themselves that the company can grow profitability by investing in the lower end of the value chain that is the foundry business. They'll also lie to themselves that the company isn't filled with no talent hacks that are just trying to keep their head down so they don't get the axe. But what about the CHIPS Act and federal subsidies? What a genius. Investing in a company that the Fed has to keep afloat. Semiconductors is the best sector of all time for returns. I don't think now is a good time to make an entry for INTC. I watched an interview with Dan Niels and I think to remember that he mentioned Intel as the most hated on technology stock on the market, with overweighing pessimism. Seems like it, judging from the comments. Not suggesting you to buy though, just saying. As somebody who works in the industry, the brain drain from Intel is crazy. Nobody good works there or wants to work there anymore. A bad company culture is the most difficult thing to change in a business. Can take up to a decade to change if successful in the first place. I wouldn't touch this stock ever again. Can it beat Nasdaq 100? If your answer is yes, go ahead. Intel actually hit its all-time high in 2000. Hasn't moved in 10 years, won't move for another 10. Short answer is no. Intel was riding high in the 90s when people knew and asked for Pentium by name. Nowadays computer chips are more of a commodity, which means there isn't much space for a big profit margin. In addition, Intel missed the boat on making a good chip for mobile devices 15 years ago. They missed making chips for graphics cards the last decade. And they missed making chips for AI the last year or two. Do they know where computing will be 5 years from now, or what's their plan to be a part of it? Nope, look at their financials. Why don't you just invest in Mobileye instead? Trying to get rid of mine. Have CCs on them, so hopefully they will get called away by end of the year. I am regarded, but I like the stock. Its stock price has been declining since April 2021. It hit low in October of last year, 24.59, and has been slowly gaining since then. Currently at 35.97 on close Friday. Not sure what chart you're looking at. Dividend stock to boot. I don't have many shares, but it's been good to me in terms of CC premiums for the past year. I keep investing not that much, about $6,000, but I feel like in the long run they will do very well. I mean, how could they not? American company with its own fab. Boomer company. In a word, no. Dinosaurs past their glory. The prospect of them rivaling TSM is laughable. That is what current bagholder are hoping for. No. Still overpriced. It's not going bankrupt, but it's priced as if it's a market leader. And it isn't. If it gets priced for bankruptcy, I'd buy. But these are testing the bottom prices. X200B. And enhance its capabilities and diversify its portfolio in the areas of autonomous driving. Artificial intelligence. Yeah, that's all bullshit. They are a chip maker or they are nothing. Definitely not a company positioned for strong growth anytime soon, but without a doubt a solid company with good products. Is it really worth it? Let me really work it. Do you believe in the company? Backquote, if not, just sell it. If you do, stick to it. Cut your losses, move to team green or red. Blue is dying a slow death. INTC will drop below $30 within 6 months. INTC is facing competitions from fabless processor design firms. I don't know how that all works, but I bet the fabless guys have an easier job. ChatGPT garbage. Not touching it. Bad management. This is a company that has been an x86 monopoly and doesn't know how to compete in anything else. Look at all the fails they have had outside of x86 CPUs. And not a single success. And now the x86 franchise is under attack by AMD. The market is shifting to GPU. And Intel isn't even trying to do a GPU. And is trying to compete in foundry. Their fixed costs are so high that they could easily go bankrupt. No vision. No leadership. My guess is they will survive. But the stock has prices that in. But will they grow? TA looks like it wants to head to the $31.30s. INTC stocks were enjoyed years ago. It reached $74.88 in June 2000. Now traded at $35.97. Depends on what you mean worth it. They own a large share of the tech sphere, but have they expanded as far as they will? In 10 years' time, can you see yourself thinking, OMG, this cool new must-have tech from Microsoft, or oh, another update that is just sucking my data on an accepted mediocre platform? Short answer, no. Either $25 bearish or 40, risk versus reward. cell-covered calls here and there.